Once upon a time, there was a 19-year-old college student named Hayato. He got a message that his grandmother had passed away, so he went back to his hometown. There, he found something surprising. 5 beautiful girls were living in his old home. By accident, he stumbled upon each of them while they were changing clothes. That was quite embarrassing. But things got worse when the girls thought Hayato was a thief and kicked him in the face. Ouch. Hayato woke up a little later, and he was annoyed. He told the girls that he was Sachiko's grandson and now owned the cafe. But they didn't believe him. One of the girls, Oka, with a tough attitude, told him they were waitresses at Sachiko's cafe. Sachiko had been like family to them and let them live there. Despite all this, Hayato said he wanted to kick them out and turn the cafe into a parking lot. Later that day, the girls got upset with Hayato for being so mean. But then, Amy, who wasn't the sharpest tool in the shed, had an idea. She thought Hayato had seen their true personalities when he met them earlier. Rijo had another idea. She thought all men were like apes and that they could trick Hayato by seducing him. As part of their plan, Oka dressed up as a maid and tried to seduce Hayato by offering to cook him some delicious rice. But to their surprise, Hayato wasn't interested at all, and he didn't fall for it. Hayato confronted the girls about their plan, and that's when Amy showed up in short shorts and asked him to go jogging with her at night. But her outfit just made Hayato embarrassed for her, which also embarrassed Amy. Later that night, Hayato was trying to sleep, but then drunk Shirajuku came in. She claimed to love the smell of his room and said she had always loved him. The story takes an unexpected turn. Hayato was surprised because Shirajuku, whom he had just met, claimed to love him. But it was all planned by Rijo, who got Shirajuku drunk, thinking she would do something wild. Rijo wanted to take a picture of Hayato and Shirajuku together to blackmail him. However, Amy barged into Hayato's room before Rijo's plan could work. She beat him up and said she was defending all women. The next morning, Amy apologized for ruining Rijo's plan, but Hayato thought she should apologize to Shirajuku instead. But it turns out that Shirajuku didn't remember what happened the night before, which was a relief for Hayato. With all the girls' plans failing, Hayato brought in professionals to see how much it would cost to tear down the house and the cafe. The girls watched in horror, but then something changed. When a worker accidentally broke the cafe's sign, Hayato had a flashback. His grandmother had named the cafe Familia, which means family in Spanish. She said the guests who came to the cafe were like family. At that moment, a Kanon, a laid-back musician among the girls, noticed Hayato's expression and asked Oka to make pile of rice for him. When Hayato ate that meal, tears filled his eyes. He remembered how, after the unexpected death of his parents, he had seen his grandmother borrowing money to open the cafe to take care of him. From that moment on, Hayato had worked hard to become a successful businessman, but his grandmother had passed away before he could fulfill that dream. As the story continues, Oka overhears Hayato talking about missing his grandmother and realizes he's not such a bad guy after all. She's happy when she sees that Hayato ate everything she cooked for him, but her mood quickly changes when he tells her that the taste was just okay. Hayato gathers the girls and tells them he'll reopen the cafe in his grandmother's honor. However, he also mentions that if the cafe doesn't make a profit within a year, he'll still turn it into a parking lot. Oka isn't thrilled when she learns that Hayato will be moving in with them, and Hayato, in his confident manner, tells her she can just deal with it. Living with the girls proves to be more challenging than Hayato expected. They come up with excuses to avoid doing housework, like Rijo not wanting to ruin her manicure. When Shirajuku offers to do all the cooking and cleaning herself, Hayato rejects the idea, calling out the other girls for taking advantage of Shirajuku's kindness. Even when he convinces the girls to help with cleaning, Hayato still has to babysit them. He even gets a kick to the face from Oka after accidentally seeing something he shouldn't have under her skirt. Later that night, Hayato agrees to have dinner with the girls. This meal is a rare moment of peace, but soon enough, chaos returns when Oka accidentally barges in on him while he's bathing after dinner. The next day, before the cafe officially reopens, Hayato decides to show the girls how to run the cafe and make delicious coffee. He had watched his grandmother do it for years, so he felt confident. However, to his surprise, the coffee he makes turns out to be tasteless. Kanon mocks him for it. Later that night, Hayato gets annoyed and asks Saucy to make him a cup of coffee to mock her skills. But her coffee is just as good as his grandmother's. So, he awkwardly asks Kanon to teach him how to make proper coffee. Kanon compliments him on making a cute face, embarrassing him even more. When she smiles and agrees to teach him, Hayato tries to embarrass her by saying she looks cute when she smiles, but Kanon doesn't react and just thanks him, which annoys him. The next day, Hayato takes Rio with him to inform the cafe's regular customers and business partners that Cafe Familia is reopening soon. Throughout the day, Hayato's arrogant and stoic attitude gives off the wrong vibes, so Rio has to act cute and kind to make up for his unfriendly energy. After a long day of covering up for Hayato, Rio scolds him for his moody and disrespectful behavior. Surprisingly, Hayato agrees with her after thinking about it for a moment and promises to do better. Rio is taken aback by Hayato's maturity and commitment to the cafe. As he's leaving to go apologize to his business partners, Rio decided to reward Hayato by showing him something incredible that almost left him in awe. Over the next few days, as Hayato tried to get to know the girls better, he found himself arguing with Oka constantly. Their disagreements seemed never-ending. Rio was worried that if this continued, it would be bad for the cafe's image when it officially reopened. So she convinced Hayato to try and get along with Oka by giving her more compliments. But when Hayato tried to compliment Oka, she noticed his strange expression and thought he was making fun of her. This made her even angrier. However, when he later saw Oka in her waitress uniform, he sincerely complimented her as cute. Oka, being a fashion school student who had made the cafe's outfits herself, smiled. Unfortunately, their sweet moment was interrupted by drunk Shirajuku, who wanted to enjoy Hayato's scent. Amy caught this embarrassing moment on camera. The day before the cafe's reopening, Hayato paid the girls the previous month's salary in place of Grand Masachiko. He revealed that he had made some money in the stock market. Amy was quite eager to learn more, but she accidentally broke Hayato's phone and laptop while serving tea with dumbbells in her hands. She did everything to distract him from finding out, including wearing revealing clothes. This prevented Hayato from selling his stocks in a suddenly bankrupt company, which wiped out his savings. Now, Hayato was entirely dependent on Cafe Familia. The next day, the cafe finally reopened. The uniforms and the taste of the coffee were well received, leaving many customers delighted. However, their joy was short-lived when Fua, a loan shark who had harassed Grandma Sachiko over money, arrived. Fua mocked Hayato and claimed that running a cafe was a futile effort. Hayato did his best to endure it, treating the customer as king. He even stopped the girls from getting physical when Fua insulted Grandma Sachiko. When Fua tried to assert dominance by flipping up Shirajuku's dress, Hayato didn't hesitate to throw him out of the cafe. He even threatened to blackmail Fua if he ever returned. The girls grew even more fond of Hayato after witnessing his protective actions. Shirajuku, in particular, thought about how Hayato hadn't changed since they were kids. Despite a great start, the cafe began losing customers steadily every day. To turn things around, Hayato decided to participate in the Cherry Blossom Festival by setting up a stall on weekends. He asked the girls for help in developing new menu items to attract new customers. Since Shirajuku was the best chef among them, she tried to create cherry liqueur cookies, but got drunk while tasting them, becoming fascinated by Hayato's scent once again. Rijo noticed Shirajiku's condition and stopped her before things got out of hand, destroying the cookies in the process. So instead of using Shirajiku's cookies, Kanon gave Hayato a cookie recipe that she had developed with Grandma Sachiko. What happened next? I wish I could tell you, but that's the end of the video. For part 2, just say part 2 in the comments, and I will drop the part 2. Till then, see you.